But it suggests that Ethereum could go to 20,000 on this cycle.
Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin this cycle. It sounds crazy, but Ethereum might just outperform Bitcoin this bull cycle. And here's a few reasons why. First of all, whales moving 451.3 million in Ethereum from top exchanges. The Ethereum balance on platforms hits major lows. There is an extreme supply crisis going on with Ethereum. We saw it take place with Bitcoin and it's ongoing, and we are seeing the same happen to Ethereum. Whales shifting 451,300,000 in Ethereum off exchanges into cold storage. This is very bullish. What we are seeing is huge buyers, institutional buyers perhaps, moving massive amounts of Ethereum off of exchanges and into cold storage. Now, what is cold storage? It is storage that isn't going to be touched for a long time. They're taking it offline, and this supply is likely to be gone for the long term from exchanges. This is very bullish for the Ethereum price. On exchanges, the Ethereum balance is plummeting. It has hit a 15-month low, as we can see from here. Now, the balance on exchanges is normally inverse what the price of Ethereum is. With such a huge dip, you would expect we can see a huge jump in price. Now, finally, we can take a look at the Ethereum 2.0 staking. Now, keep in mind, there is a minimum threshold that you must stake for Ethereum 2.0, and once it is staked, you can't touch it. You are becoming a node and you earn interest on the Ethereum that is staked. However, it acts almost as cold storage in a way, and it is a long-term bullish indicator. Reaching all-time high being staked. This is creating somewhat of a perfect storm for Ethereum, because we are seeing whales move tons of Ethereum off of exchanges and into cold storage, and at the same time we are seeing all of this Ethereum being locked up in the 2.0 node. We are going to see a huge Ethereum shortage, and this is only bullish for the price. Let's keep in mind, Michael Saylor is also doing a institutional investing seminar on Bitcoin, and I can only see this also reaching out to the other cryptocurrencies and Ethereum benefiting from this seminar. This is taking place in the first week of February. Now, let me just play a clip by Raoul Pal, who uses Metcalfe's law. It's a way they used to evaluate social media companies in the early days when they didn't know how to value the companies. And he predicts a potentially $20,000 Ethereum price, and I'll let him take it away on how he reached that valuation.
Over time, I believe, and if you look at it, the adoption actually of market cap versus number of wallet addresses of Ethereum is significantly ahead of where Bitcoin was. Yeah. And you see the distribution of returns. Again, I put some of it on Twitter, and I've written this whole piece. I will do a piece for Real Vision Crypto in the next couple of weeks. It shows potentially that Ethereum is getting adopted faster, and will potentially have a larger market cap than Bitcoin over time. Again, I'm not talking about a flippening happening immediately, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about platform versus asset, and a platform is often more valuable than an asset. I know that's highly contentious for some people. That's just how I see it. The other thing that I've spoken a lot on Twitter about is Ethereum, where I went back and looked at Ethereum and tried to understand it in terms of how it priced. You know, we have stock to flow and stuff like that for Bitcoin, and I realized it's basically just following Metcalfe's law, which is the kind of basically the more network connections there are, the more people in the network, the more it goes up in price. It's more valuable. And I also then compared Bitcoin. Now here's a killer one. I compared Bitcoin to Ethereum using when they both had 1 million wallet addresses, active wallet addresses. What was bizarre, it was exactly mapping the 2017 cycle. They were exactly at the same price. So Bitcoin, when it had 1 million wallets, was exactly the same price that Ethereum was at 1 million wallets, and they map each other exactly. It would give suggestion that Ethereum is just a delayed Metcalfe's law that follows Bitcoin with its cycles. We understand that because there's a substitution effect. I've been following Bitcoin versus the previous halving cycle, which is 2017, 16, 17, and it was mapping it well, and then it started to accelerate past it because we've got institutional involvement now. So that's interesting. So then I went back, and again, you can find the chart on Twitter, I went back and looked at the halving cycle in 2013, which was much more violent. And Bitcoin is mapping that perfectly. And it suggests somewhere in the next 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, not clear on the chart, I need to do a bit more work on it, Bitcoin could get to 50,000 or even 100,000 before having this 45% correction. It may happen here. It's really difficult to tell on the chart, and you don't want to use it as an exact science, but just to tell you that potentially there's more upside to come, then some big downside. In 2013, it then traded sideways for, 5 months, which was not what we're used to right now, but what gold has just gone through. And then it exploded in a hair-singeing rally that was truly mind-blowing. I think it went up 10x at that period. So I'm kind of thinking that's what we're going to see. We'll see. Things don't always repeat in the same way, but it gives us some contextual understanding. Now, volatility in Bitcoin is skewed to the upside, so the distribution is lopsided. Great, but there is still significant downside. I'm, really mainly I am cryptocurrencies, and you and I were talking off camera. Even if Bitcoin goes halves from here in a usual corrective cycle, normally it's like 30 to 40% in these bull markets, but let's say it goes 50%. It goes back to 20,000. That's basically the beginning of the year. I mean, nobody really cares. It's okay, and just be used to that. That's why I've always said don't have leverage in the trade, but other things can get really smoked here. So be careful. Don't press the bet on this reflation trade, because I think there's an extremely high probability of a reversal. People need to be aware that Bitcoin is not a stationary ecosystem either. It's developing very fast, and there will be a whole crossover between what Ethereum can do and what Bitcoin can do as Ethereum 2.0 becomes a harder asset and looks a bit more like Bitcoin. Not the same, a bit more like. And the layer 2 solutions on Bitcoin look a bit more like Ethereum. There is going to be some competition, but I still believe they're complement products, not competition.
Here are some of the tweets and data that Raoul was referencing in that clip. It shows the relationship between active addresses and the similarities that Bitcoin and Ethereum has. Ethereum is just one cycle behind Bitcoin. You have to admit the resemblance is uncanny and the relationship seems to be very similar. What do you guys think? What do you think the Ethereum price will hit in 2021? And what do you think of the logic behind this argument? Let me know in the comments, and see you in the next video.